Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Jacob here. It's been a while, so I will try and keep this short and sweet. Basically, I just wanted to preface what you're about to see. This is Jacob in March of 2021. But yeah, I wanted to make sort of a wrap-up, sort of follow-up video to last year's video, which was about designing and starting to develop this meditation app. Spoiler alert, the project did not go as expected. I did not make nearly as much progress, at all that I kind of intended to or sort of hoped I would. But I still wanted to do this video just as a way to kind of like recap a little bit about, my process and some of the things that I learned, and sort of just share kind of the struggles and triumphs, I suppose, of kind of learning a new technology while trying to build something at the same time. So without further ado, let's go back in time almost a year and take a look at how this project went.
Today is a special day. Mocha latte day. Oh yeah.
Hey, buddy. Hey, Paula. Can you speak? Close enough. Hey, shake. Shake. Not lick. Shake. Oh. Okay. Well, this is my life now.
Heck yeah. I love you.
Yummy. Cool, okay, so the event kicks off in like 20 minutes and I'm pretty stoked. I think Mayuko is gonna be live streaming on Twitch and YouTube, if I remember correctly, so I'm gonna just get prepared to watch that. But I'm really excited for this event, so yeah, I don't know, we'll see. I'm really curious to just see how this month goes. One thing that's really blown me away actually so far is just like how cool the community seems. I joined their Discord server the other day and just been chatting to a few people there, and like everyone seems really warm and welcoming and friendly. So I'm excited to like get to know some people in the community more, and if any of you from the community are watching this video, hello, you're awesome. Yeah, it's just a super cool thing. So again, Mayuko, thank you for organizing this. Mayuko and Scott, both of you, like, awesome. I think it's really cool and it's really necessary to have, the community building events like this happen, especially during, global pandemics. So I think it's just like the right time for a lot of people. It's something that is just gonna really help a lot of people. So, did you hear that? That was Apollo making weird noises. I think that's his form of saying he agrees. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna try and get a tiny bit of work done and eat some lunch really quick before this event kicks off. So I'll see you in a second.
It's happening. Starting soon.
There's like really chill music playing in the background. I dig it. I feel like the same kind of like nervous, excited when I'm like sitting to like wait and watch a show, some like at a concert or like people performing or something. It's that sort of like uncertainty of what to expect. What the? Wait, sorry, hold on. Yay. Oh my gosh, there are like 400 people in chat. I'm not even gonna try and keep up with typing. I'm just gonna watch this stream. Okay. They're talking about at the end of the event how there's gonna be like a science fair portion to this where everyone kind of like shows off their work. I really like that idea just because it's like it just adds to the community aspect of it. It makes it not a competition. It's more of just like a fun event for just everyone to like make something cool and show it off at the end of the month. So I just really appreciate this event. I really appreciate what Scott and Mayuko are doing. Oh, heck yeah. They just said that anyone who submits will get a sticker of this logo, which I would love to add to my laptop. They just said that they're going to be like a special for fun category of like Kona, who's their dog, Kona's most favorite project. There's going to be like community voting for the projects for reels, but they're going to do this like special silly like Kona's favorite project subcategory, I guess. I'm so excited for this. This is really, really fun. This is Kona. Kona's sleeping. Sweet, so the stream just ended. They just went over all of the details for the project for the month and just some general information about check-ins every week and how to submit your project and that kind of stuff. I'm super stoked. I keep saying that, but I'm really excited, and it just seems like a really fun community to be a part of. I think I'm gonna go take a quick socially distant walk around the neighborhood really quick just to get some fresh air and move my body a little bit, and then start brainstorming some project ideas. So I will check back in soon. I'm back from my walk. It's very toasty out there. But yeah, nice walk. Got to clear my head a little bit, process some thoughts, and come up with sort of a game plan for how I want to approach this project. So I just made a Trello board for this project. I just sat down and kind of brainstormed just some ideas about the specific tasks that I want to work on, as well as sort of the rough order that I think I'm going to approach it. So let's see here. Code with Friends 2020 Trello board. Ta-da! Look at this pretty background. So yeah, so this list is not super long. That's important to me because I want to make sure that it's manageable, that I am not going crazy or super, stressing out trying to build this thing. I will be working on this part-time because I have other stuff that I've got going on, so I can't dedicate all of my time to building this. So given that I'm not super experienced with coding in Swift or SwiftUI, so I don't know how long it'll take to build this out. Therefore, I'm keeping the scope of things small so that I will ideally increase my chances of actually being able to finish this sort of minimum viable product. Also, I want to clarify one quick thing that I realize I may have been a little bit misleading in my previous video. If you watched my previous video, I walked through one of the designs I made for my design bootcamp, which was an app I designed called Pocket Campfire. And in Pocket Campfire, there is a part of this experience that is basically the same thing that I'm trying to build this month, which is sort of this listening, audio-based meditation experience. I just want to clarify that for this month, I'm not necessarily directly working on expanding Pocket Campfire, but it's not totally unrelated either. Basically, what my plan is to try and build this sort of standalone audio-based meditation experience, and just sort of first and foremost see as a technical exploration and like a technical challenge, just see if I can pull that off in the first place. If later on I can, and if it seems to work well, if people like it, for example, I might expand upon it further, and as part of my future plans, there is a chance that I will kind of fold it back into the design that I have for Pocket Campfire. But maybe I will take this in a completely different direction. And part of the reasoning behind that is there are many things that I really enjoyed about Pocket Campfire. I think the design and visually is really interesting, and I like the ideas behind it. I just feel like the implementation of some of those ideas and some aspects of the visual design, like the buttons, for example, I'm not as fond of. So it's sort of one of those situations where I've already built this project and it's inspiring what I'm currently doing now for Code with Friends. I'm sort of feeling like, in this case, I just want to start from scratch. If this experience that I'm making this month turns out to be cool, maybe what I'll do is fold it back into Pocket Campfire and change Pocket Campfire to just be that experience. Who knows? I'm not sure yet. But I just wanted to kind of clarify that and sort of talk about my thinking behind that process. I think later today or tomorrow I'm going to go through this Trello list of tasks, maybe break it down into sort of milestones for each week, just so I can kind of have a better sense of my timeline and sort of project manage this project as best as possible, just because I want to increase the chances of actually finishing it, right? So yeah, I'm really aiming to have something that'll be like fun visually and functionally intuitive to use and interesting to use, and hopefully interesting to listen to, and hopefully helpful as an experience that will help people be able to relax a bit and serve as kind of a meditation. Hello everybody. It is Sunday, May 10th. I'm just here watching Mayuko's stream. She's coding her own app for the challenge, and she's using Swift and SwiftUI as well, which is pretty sweet because I get to watch her code and kind of get inspired and also learn a few things as she codes. So that is super helpful. Thank you, Mayuko. But it's super cool. Every weekend, I think on Fridays and Saturdays, she's been live streaming. So I haven't really been able to catch the earlier streams, but today I'm taking some time just to hang out, watch her stream, and then also dive in and work on my own app as well. So this past week has gone a little differently than I expected. I went through a few interviews and did a design challenge for a different project, which took up more time this week than I was thinking it would. Of course, that had to be my priority because that's more immediately related to potentially getting a job, whereas the coding challenge for me right now, maybe it'll help me get a job in the future, but ultimately it's more like a fun side project. So I shifted gears a little bit this past week just to prioritize working on that design challenge. And as a result, I'm a little behind where I want to be on the coding challenge, working on this meditation app. But I have been thinking about it a lot, and I've come up with a few sketches, and I have just a handful of ideas in mind about kind of how I want to approach it moving forward. I keep thinking too far in the future, I think. I keep thinking, okay, how do I want this app to look? How do I want it to be existing in sort of the larger context of its use? And I really think I need to pull myself back. I think I need to keep reminding myself this is a coding challenge. It's only a few weeks long, so I only have a short amount of time to, actually build something that's usable. And so kind of keeping this in mind, I think I'm leaning more and more towards not necessarily ignoring the visual design altogether, but really lowering the priority of how this app is going to look. In other words, trying to have this be less of like a design and coding thing and more of just like really just taking this month as like a technical exploration, a technical challenge, a technical exercise. I will say it's kind of hard to turn off that like UI design part of my brain, so it's not like I'm ignoring it, it's just I'm making it less of a priority for now. So my plan for this app at this point is to choose like 1, 2, maybe 3 top priority functionality elements that I want to include as part of the experience. So I'm thinking the first order of business is to just have a very simple list of each layer of audio, and I'll probably just have it super bare bones for now, just with like a text element that just says, this is the rain sound effect, this is the, music strings layer. After that, I'm thinking the next feature I want to implement is being able to like tap on any given layer to kind of toggle it on and off. Then building from there, I would want to add a volume slider to each element. And then for fun, maybe being able to like tap and hold to then drag around a layer to a different position in the list. And yeah, basically in other words, what I'm trying to do is scope even smaller than I was originally thinking. Hopefully I can finish all these features sooner than later. And then if there's time left over at the end of the month, then I can add more features later. So watching Mayuko code and work on her app. And I also have this up here too. The Udemy course that I mentioned before, this is the one that I'm taking with Angela Yu. She is awesome. So I've taken the SwiftUI lesson before, but I'm going to retake it now just to kind of refresh my brain and get myself back in that coding mindset. So I'll go through this course later today and then dive into Xcode and try to start implementing sort of the basic list display of elements. Let's get to it. The music in Mayuko's stream is just so chill, like I'm grooving. Yeah. I'm sleepy. But yeah, I would call today a huge success. Like I got some tutorials done, got the foundational start of the app done. Now I can just like add to this code and keep expanding on it. So eventually, once I'm done with this app, I will have to make an app that like gives me a haircut. So normally Apollo is not allowed in my room, but he got scared because of the vacuum, so. Hey buddy. I found there's just like something relaxing about just sitting down to code. It's like a really different kind of workflow, a really different kind of mentality that I kind of dive into, and sort of just sort of a mindset shift that happens, I feel, when I like sit down to code. And it's very different than sitting down to, you know, compose a piece of music or design a project. I just feel that my brain is working in a different way, and it's kind of cool. And that's part of the reason why I wanted to do this challenge this month. Is just like, it's a fun way to kind of flex my brain in different ways, and, you know, I'm learning new skills and making new fun connections and friendships in the Discord community. You know, hanging out on Mayuko's live stream for the coding co-work sessions. And yeah, I don't know, it's just a good time all around. So I'm digging it. Speaking of good times all around, I just did a snack run.
I got some gummy bears. Heck yeah. And yes, I am eating them with chopsticks.
All right, I'm gonna stuff some more candy in my face and get some more work done on this coding project. Peace. So thank you so much for watching this video. As you saw, the project that I worked on, sort of the idea that I had, I really flip-flop back and forth with, you know, how to approach that. And I think that's one of the things that I really took away as sort of a point of learning. Just one of the things I learned in this process was, you know, having a clear direction from the start, I think would have helped me focus in more and actually be able to complete the vision that I had. But that being said, you know, I'm not upset about any of this. The fact that I didn't get as far, like nearly as far as I was hoping to, I'm not mad about it all. I really do feel like there was a lot of important things that I took away, both on the technical side, as well as the, you know, just mindset side, as well as just on the personal side as well. Like I said, I flip-flop back and forth about, you know, what exactly I wanted this app to be, whether I wanted it to be directly inspired by my previous design project or not. And I think that slowed me down a bit because I ended up overthinking things kind of at the start, and then I just moved forward without having a clear plan. And I was also sort of trying to learn a new technology at the same time. You know, I was exploring SwiftUI, getting back into mobile app development for iOS, having done a little bit of UI kit and iOS development in the past, but yeah, I was just sort of exploring SwiftUI and seeing what it was all about. And it was definitely very fun to be able to kind of work alongside Mayuko, who's obviously much more experienced with software development than I am. But just watching her streams and seeing how she approaches things and seeing how she codes was really, you know, encouraging and inspiring. So one of the other takeaways that I had is that, you know, learning new technologies can be difficult, right? It just takes time to learn new skills and to learn new frameworks or new programming languages or whatever the case may be. And so I think, you know, in the future, I think now I have a better understanding about what's actually possible in a short amount of time like that. I know I have a tendency to kind of bite off more than I can chew and kind of scope creep a little bit. So I think if I were to go back and do it again, I would shift my expectations a little bit. I would either try and do a little bit of learning ahead of time before the event started, and then spend the entire event trying to focus on a very, very, very narrow kind of MVP, minimum viable product for this app experience. Or I would have dedicated the entire month just for learning. So not expecting myself to try and learn and produce a complete, you know, slice of an app, but just focus on one or the other. Because that month flew by really quickly, and I was sort of surprised at how quickly it flew by. I definitely learned a few things about SwiftUI, and maybe in the future I'll end up using it again. But to be honest, since finishing the first Code with Friends event, I have dived further into iOS development, learned a lot more about kind of UI kit and just sort of the original way, I guess, of programming user interfaces and just programming functionality in Swift. And at this point moving forward, if I were to build out a whole app in Swift, I probably would not be using SwiftUI. I think in the future, maybe, you know, SwiftUI will become more popular and more widely used, but because it's so new, I think it's going to take a while for it to be, you know, up to the level that just sort of UIKit is at, because the UIKit way of implementing things on iOS is just a lot more established. And really, I wanted to take a moment to kind of highlight what I think is like the biggest takeaway from this event, which is just, as cheesy as it sounds, the friendships that I made along the way, I think are like the most important. And I really, really, really am grateful for that. You know, the friendships, the community. I just met so many awesome people during this month. Diving further into Mayuko's community, joining her Twitch streams more, joining her Discord community. I got to meet some amazing people. And I'm really glad now to call many of these new people that I met my friends. So I know that's super, you know, soft and warm and fuzzy and cheesy, but it's true. It's true. Bear hugs to all your friends if you're watching. So yes, even though I didn't get as far as I wanted to in making this app, I didn't really realize even a fraction of the vision that I had in mind when I initially set out to do it. I definitely still call this event a huge success for so many different reasons, which I just explained, but definitely would do it again. At the time of filming this video, there was actually a second Code with Friends that just happened not too long ago. And while I didn't really make a video about that experience, I spent that whole month just sort of diving into learning about ARKit for iOS development. So that's Apple's augmented reality framework. But I will leave more thoughts about augmented reality and the experiments that I am kind of slowly but surely working on for a future video. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little insight into kind of my thought process and sort of things that I learned from doing this Code with Friends event. Definitely check out Mayuko and her channel. I'll link all of her social media stuff in the description below. Thank you everybody for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.